Hey everyone, welcome to another Throwback Thursday. This time I'm going to be talking about two books that are kind of similar. This one right here, which is long out of print and probably will not be back in print any time soon, called The Black Art by Rollo, Ahmed. And of course this one, which is still in print, they just came out with a new hardback of it I saw the other day in a bookstore. Of course, this is the old cover, which I really like. This is the 60s cover. So, anyway, obviously this is a classic. I'm going to start off with this one. This book was originally published in 1936. And unfortunately, it's missing the original illustrations. However, this one has the introduction by Dennis Wheatley. I'm a fan of that author, so. But basically, this guy was famous in the British witchcraft scene. He supposedly conjured Lucifer in the flesh. I don't really think he did, but talked about it extensively. So you can find articles about him in Man with the Magic, and I'm sure there's things about him online as well. But he goes into various types of culture. He was definitely one of the witches that was more on the left-hand path scene, compared to the Wiccans that were emerging during the 60s. So, these are just some of the things that he talks about. So, it's a pretty cool book. Of course, it's got one called Black Magic and Sex Rights chapter. Yep. So I will tell you that if you can find a black art book, it's worth a lot now. Like I said, it's been out of print. This is probably the last time it was in print. It was a 60s edition. So there might have been one in the 70s or even the 80s, but it is long out of print. If you can find the original version that came out in the 30s, it was this big leather hardbound book, and it had illustrations in it. Like I said, unfortunately this version doesn't, but it is still a good book. As you can see, it's got a voodoo doll on it. He actually incorporated a lot of puppets in his magic. So, yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to show some images to you guys. Alright, so I'm back again, guys. Anyway, that's what he looks like at his altar, Rollo, Ahmed. So as you can see, he was a black man. He probably was more, judging on his last name. So, yeah. But anyway, he's in the Man with the Magic book also that I have. There are a few articles on him that you can find. Well, he, of course, supposedly claimed that he conjured Lucifer. So, anyway, just had to show you guys that. I see my edition doesn't have a picture of him. The original one definitely does. So, yeah. And then, of course, we have the Black Arts, which, as I mentioned, is a classic. It keeps getting republished over and over again. Of course, this is the coolest cover, in my opinion, to it. Jerry, will you get down? So, got the bath on that one side there. It's a very good book. I think everybody should have this book, honestly, in my opinion. Of course, he talks about numerology, Kabbalah, names of power, a little bit of alchemy, ritual magic. He talks about Luciferianism in some of these chapters, historical Luciferianism. So, let's see, and where he talks about it. Luciferians, 296. Here. So, a satanic sect in Germany called Luciferians. Of course, he's got spelled like that. Sometimes it's spelled like that. And in 1227, the Pope sent Conrad of Marburg to root out heresy. He descended on the Luciferians in the fierce conviction. It's called the Battle of Satan himself. Confessions he extracted, apparently made without torture, but under threat of death if the victim did not confess. The Luciferians were verbal and Satanists. They worshipped the devil as creator and ruler of the world, complained that he had been unjustly, treacherously banished from heaven, and believed that he would overthrow the God of the Christians and return to heaven. And they would enjoy eternal happiness with him. They reveled in whatever displeased the Christian God and hated whatever pleased him. When a man was initiated as a Luciferian, he was taken to one of their meetings, made to kiss a toad on the backside. Of course, they have the man in black kissed him, and he lost his Catholic faith in that instant. You know, the usual stuff. But, I would like to point out, though, that the founder of Luciferianism was actually a bishop. Bishop Lucifer. He was excommunicated from the church because he had heresy ideals. So, let's see. 299, 303. Talks about the Cathars, the Luciferians. Again, they were Gnostic religions that were accused of devil worship by Christians. Unfortunately, he is a little bit discriminatory when he writes about things, but still, it's a pretty good book. Teaches you how to find the meaning of your name using numerology. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Anyway, you can find this in any Barnes & Nobles, Books A Million, if you have that store. Yeah. It's pretty common. It's probably harder to find the cover with this, though, however. It's very psychedelic 60s cover. So, while it was online, I did see that Amazon has a paperback copy of this. Of course, it's old, but, and I'm not sure how much it is. I just happened to see that it was advertised when I looked up Rollo Ahmed. So, if anybody wants to try to obtain that, it is occasionally available online. You can try A-Books, you can try eBay, and then, of course, Amazon just happens to have a paperback copy, it sounds like. So, anyway, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.